So we're into the winter at Grafham, and of course when you're at Grafham in the winter, one of the big patterns, one of the big go-to food sources for those fish and these killer shrimp, the introduced invasive species of shrimp that come across from Europe. I've been in the lake now for about 10 years and have provided a great winter food source for the Grafham rainbows and browns and all the other fish in there. They've all done very well on them. Usually found around the rocky outcrops, the uneven bottoms that line the edges of the lakes as the water levels go down in the autumn. Very accessible. North Shore's famous for them, but of course they're everywhere. They're a big free swimming shrimp, hence the pattern is going to be quite a large pattern. And this is my version. This is the one that I fished with and has been very, very successful for me over the last few seasons on Grafham. Everybody has their own little variations. Again, fish with what you're comfortable with, but this is my version, the Grafham killer shrimp. So this one, size 10 grub hook. I tie them as big as a size 8, I tie them as small as a size 14. Just worth having a little variation in your box. The shrimp sizes do vary throughout the year. They seem to vary on whatever shore you're on as well sometimes. So just bear that in mind, have a little selection in your box. So yeah, size 10 grub hook. It's got that nice shape to it. The thread is a UTC olive in 70. And you're just going to start by wrapping that on. Just bring it on and secure it on. Okay, now as I said, these shrimps are quite big shrimp. They've got a lot of mobility. They've got a lot of fuss about them, as a lot of flies do have. So we're going to try that and incorporate that into the pattern. First thing I'll do is I'm going to put some little feelers on the front and the back, okay, just to add a bit of bulk to the body and a little bit of movement. So what I'm using for that is just an Chinese cot cape. This one is in I think it's white cream or something like that. It's one of the old ones I don't use very much. Just selected a feather from there, and I'm going to peel away a few of the strands, a few of the barbs from it. Nice big pinch from either side. These are going to be our feelers, so take a nice big pinch from that side there, just strip that down, and we're going to offer that to the hook. The first one, put the tail in, so just all bunched together like so. Just going to lay those against the hook, roughly measure them out about halfway the length of the hook again, because you're going to curl these around the back of the hook. So just catch them in and bring them all the way down round the bend. This gives this shrimp this lovely curved look. You bring your thread all the way down around the back of the hook, just curves down like so. Lovely. Bring the thread back up again. You're going to do the same at the front as well. These shrimps have feelers or extra legs or something like that, front and back. I don't know what they are, but they certainly have them. So again, take a nice big pinch of this cock hackle. Try to get them all measured up the same sort of length if you can. Just grip them and pinch them all off. There we are, nice pinch of the cock hackle. You're going to just turn that around. And again, over the front of the hook, you want a good, nice long overlap with this. So bring that in and then right the way down to just behind the eye. There we go. Okay. Trim that off. That's your feelers front and back in there now. Okay. Next bit, just trapping the rib. You're going to just medium silver wire. Just put a medium silver wire there. This is going to rib down over the top of the foam back on these shrimp. So just trap that in and bring that down the length of the body. All the way down, right the way down to the back of the bend. Keep that lovely shape of that shrimp in there. Okay. Next bit to go in is the shell, if you like, the carapace of the shrimp. What I like to use is these little foam sheets available from Hobbycraft. These little 3mm, I think they're foam sheets. We're just going to cut a little strip off this foam sheet here, and that is going to be the back of the shrimp. That's going to go into the back of the shrimp there. Okay, so we're going to cut ourselves a piece there, and going up with a little strip of brown foam there. Okay, by using a little bit of foam, or you can use all sorts of materials for this to give you the same sort of effect. By using a bit of foam, it just adds a little bit of buoyancy to the fly. It won't make a hook like this float because this is quite a heavy wire hook. It's a heavy grub hook. It's still going to sink, but it will just slow that descent of that sink down a little bit. Offers you a little bit of control. You can of course tie these in lighter hooks, and they work as well. You can tie them with booby eyes to keep them up in the water and to float. What I have found with these fish is the lighter the hooks, the more likely you are to straighten out. And some of the takes when they're feeding on shrimp are phenomenal. You want a good strong hook. You're going to be using good strong fluorocarbon. You want a good strong hook to match. So we're just going to offering this sliver of foam at the back of the hook there. Just catch it in right at the back of the bend there. Just secure that nice and tight. There we go. Okay. Body of the shrimp is made up of hares here. Hares here. Nice bit of hares here dubbing. Nice bit of hares here dubbing there. Good generous pinches of this all the way down. What we're going to do is going to tie this in, and then we're going to come back and we're going to scruff it up to give the effect of some legs. So just moisten your UTC like so. You can use a bit of wax on there if you'd like. You're just going to put a bit of a dub, start dubbing this body material on there. Just a nice long, get it all bound in nice and tight. You're going to loosen it up after the tying, so you want to get as much on there as you can really without making the fly too absurdly big. Just like so. So you've got a nice dubbing rope gone there. Lovely. Okay, I'm just going to bring that up the body and try and form some sort of taper as you go up and round the hook without knocking the camera off. There we go, just up and around that body all the way up, following the curve of the hook to finish off just behind the eye. Give yourself a little bit of room just behind the eye there. Okay, so you've got a nice bit of dubbing on there. Right, next thing to do is to bring up this foam back. Just bring up over the body, slightly stretch if you can, don't pull it too tight because you don't want to snap it off. Okay, you don't want to break that, you've got to start the fly again, and then just catch that in behind the eye. A couple of turns of your thread just to secure it in there. There we go, that's just secured in there behind the eye. So we've got the dubbing on there, we've got the back on there. Now we're going to bring the rib back up to give it that nice segmented effect on your shrimp pattern. And just bring that up nice, slightly open turns there, so I'll turn that to show you. So it's laying down. So just bring that up from over the back. Nice even segments all the way up the head. Lovely. Just going to catch that in behind the head with your thread. So bring the thread up to just behind the eye. We're just going to finish that off now. Just going to whip finish that before we do anything else, just to secure it in. So bring that up and just whip finish that front of the eye. Okay, it's all nice and secure now. It's not going to go anywhere. Let's just trim the wire out. It's gone. And then just slightly stretch your foam out. Bring your scissors down, just trim that off as well. So there's your shrimp pattern. Now, to give this a nice bit of life, you see that lovely segmented effect on the top there, all this fuss, and it's what the fish like. You know, you look with these, you watch these shrimp swim along the water, and they're just all one massive fast moving legs. That's what these fish key in on. So we're just going to get your dubbing brush, and we're just going to tease some of these fibres out just to give that nice leggy effect there. Lovely. Okay, now you could just varnish it off and leave that as is, but being that this is going to be a Grafham pattern and a Grafham shrimp, I like to give it a little hot spot, a little red head Little red heads on my flies on Grafham patterns feature a lot, whether it be nymphs, shrimps. I often tie them with a little bit of red. The Grafham fish do really seem to respond to that. So with the Globrite number 4, all we're going to do is come back onto the head and just give you a couple of wraps around the head there, okay? So we're just going to bring that, catch it in again. A couple of wraps there just behind those breathers there, just trim that excess off. And then you're just going to whip finish. It really is just half a dozen wraps in, whip finish. Beautiful, like that. That just gives you a little hot spot there at the head of the fly. Trim that off, just like so. Well, it makes it stand out from the crowd, and when these shrimps are really on, there's a lot of them in the water. Maybe it just provokes the fish to take in that one shrimp with that little bit of hot spot on it. Don't know, but it does seem to work. I stand by that. Definitely seems to work. Fishing these patterns static on a floater as part of a washing line. You can twitch them and pull them on a tip line or a fast glass. There are no right and wrong ways to use these, but all you want them is as scruffy as you possibly can, and try to keep them pretty high in the water. The general rule of thumb, these fish do seem to swim, these shrimp do seem to swim quite high in the water, and when you're fishing, you want to fish them quite high in the water. But yeah, you can tie them, put booby eyes on them if you want to, do what you like. But that's my little take on a Grafham shrimp. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep boring you with my videos. Thanks very much.